Peace, peace, family. Shalom alaikum. Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Hotel. Better get the ball rolling for my late night guys.
And the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young.
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young.
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum. Peace.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, peace, peace, family. This is for my late night guys because we did the early Anunnaki question and answer part one. Part three, because we got part one, part two, and part three now. This would be kind of like part four, but we called it a news says was the verdict. Because we got sent, a group of us got sent here to be judges to see what was going down. And like I say, Hakeem, you got to go in there because we're going live. I need to get that book called Nana Return, because that book is a book that y'all need to check out. Like I said, we got the Nana Queen of Heaven and Earth. The book Nana Returns. We got Enlil's perspective. We got Enlil's perspective, and he ain't have much to say. He ain't have much to say. Enlil, he don't like to talk much. He ain't one for talking. Enlil. But like I said, this is a question answer class for my night guys. The early guys, we already did a class for them. And as I say, we've been going to the Hebrew meetings probably for like the last 90 days, trying to walk with these people, walk with the brothers and sisters back, get them, go, Bible said, go back, get the stragglers, right? So we had to go back and walk them. And we had to introduce them. Well, the spirit just came over, and because they say I blur, they didn't say I didn't blurt it out and interrupt the class. I said, can I ask a question? And they said, go ahead. And I asked, who is Melchizedek? Why are you looking up at Melchizedek? Because you're saying that this Jesus. You're saying that because they when it started, they said that they were talking about the cloud, the pillar of fire by day and night, leading the Israelites out of Egypt. And I said that was one of the angel Michael ships. And they say, oh well, who is the angel? What you mean? I say, yeah, Melchizedek. Then that's it. We went from there. You know, then was the Revelations, whatever. Go check that tape out. I put out a call after the order of Melchizedek. So the reason why we've been loading religious tapes up And keep in mind the Michael shit is really higher than the religious. It really ain't religion about, but it does talk about it in the Bible, but it really ain't religion. It goes back before the Bible, because with the Bible only been around a certain amount of years. Melchizedek is the Ancient of Days. He was around before the Bible. He was around before humans were writing shit down. So, like I say, we can get into that. So it goes way past the Bible. People say, "Oh, you reading the Bible, you getting religious, talking about Melchizedek." No, it's way deeper than that. You see what I'm saying? That's one thing. The next thing, we will take questions, man, and Anunnaki questions too. But we talking about the main topic. Anu says, "What's the verdict?" So keep in mind, we got the holy tablets by the master teacher, Dr. Melchizedek, in the links in the descriptions. You can read the holy tablets for free in the links in the descriptions. And all of our classes we posted in the descriptions. So you can read. And when you read the holy tablets, keep in mind the holy tablets is in Murdoch's perspective. Murdoch's perspective. And keep in mind, Murdoch's perspective is not limited because he had 720 degrees, just like we coming with the 720. So he absorbed other people's perspective as well when he told his perspective. So you got to keep that. That's why Baba's perspective is quite broad, because he just like us, or we just like him, because we after his order, and we take in perspectives. So we took Enlil's perspective, we took Nana's perspective, we took Inky's perspective, we took Nergal's perspective, we took a little bit of Riskigear. She don't like to talk much, but she real strictly business. Riskigear. But we got all these people's perspective, and from all the perspectives, we telling our perspective, so including based on Murdoch's perspective. Now, Enlil said in court, he don't want to hear Haru's perspective because he takes sides and he biased and he takes sides with Murdoch. So his judgment is always gonna have Murdoch's best interest. That's what Enlil say, and that's partially true, but I ain't biased. That's true, but I ain't biased. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep the bias part because I listen to everybody's perspective. But Anu gave it to Melchizedek. He gave the throne to Melchizedek, to Nubaru. And I lean to what Anu say, really. But the thing is, we was made to come here to make a call on it. And we went back, and Anu said, "What's the verdict?" And I said to Anu that we're all family. And he said, "I thought you would say that." I thought you would say it. And then he said, "Remember." And when he said "remember," I said it at the same time he said it. There's no number but one. It's like he said there's no number but one. I said it at the same time he said it. And then we both laughed. And so that's the verdict. The verdict is we all family anyway. In the end of all this, after we get through fighting and the battle and the smoke clears, we all family. We all one. There's no number but one. The universe is one. All the way down from a gnat or a fruit fly, the smallest insects, even going smaller than that, down to the micro-sized organisms that you need a microscope to see, all the way up to the biggest mega living organism. We're all the galactic family of life, the circle of life. Anything that has life is part of the circle. And what is life? What is life? People don't know what is life. What is life? Life, as Mark Brady pointed out to us, is love itself. And he might have heard that from Baba, but I heard it from him. Life is love itself. So just the very thought of you having breath and being able to breathe and have life and exist is love from the universe to the Most High God, Anu, because they allowed it to happen. They allowed us to be upgraded and all that, the Earthlings. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. Shout out Mark, man, in the building. Mark C. This is Stacy Jones. Yeah, we got. It says definitely. Yeah, so we got like a lot of Anunnaki questions for the last couple, like week or two. So it was like, okay, we'll do a couple Anunnaki tapes and talk about. It's for the people that's up to speed that want more. That's asking questions on that. This what I forgot to go into detail on. Hey, shout out to brother Chris Love. I think I seen that you called me on Facebook today, but I didn't hear it ring. But he asked about Ptah being inky, and how did we come up with that? Because it's not in the Holy Tablets. It's not. It's in the books that he got or whatever that Baba put out. And so, like I said, what we did in our research efforts, when we was putting together the chronicles of the Anunnakis, like I said, we gained everybody's perspective. Some things everybody didn't say. So let me just break it down how we did it. So we got 10 people that had their own story about their perspective on the Anunnakis. We took all those perspectives. Now, if 7 people said the same thing, we said that, especially if it lined up with Baba, we said, oh yeah, that's right. It lines up with what Baba said, and they all line up saying the same thing. Then, in some cases, because like I say, Baba had gained the 720, so it might have been some things that he said that everybody else didn't say because he had gained their perspective, and once you start gaining perspectives, it's like putting a puzzle together, right? So you got this piece, that piece, this piece, this piece. And then based off your intelligence of looking at the pieces, you can see the pieces that's missing and begin to add the pieces. That's what Baba was doing. And so that's the same thing we did. We took the pieces that Baba had laid out. We took all these other people that had they already matched the pieces with Baba. Some of them other guys, maybe 5 of them, said some stuff that Baba didn't say. Because in the book, Baba didn't really go into much detail on Ananna. He talked a lot about Ananna, but he didn't really go into the detail like the lady do in the book called Ananna Return, where she actually tells from a first person's perspective of Ananna, and she go into details on what she was thinking in her head. So we added that to the Anunnaki Chronicles when we was putting it together. Then books like Lost Books of Enki, with Zachariah snitching. Keep in mind the name Zachariah snitching. Keep in mind who Zachariah is. Keep in mind who Zachariah is in the Bible. Check that out. And keep in mind Zachariah snitching. Zachariah is snitching, meaning he telling on us. Right? The water and Anunnakis, these are different. This is another about Zachariah snitching called a king who never died. He refused to die, whatever, right? And like I said, we got all those Zachariah snitching collections. But we went through all these books, trying to line it up with the Holy Tablets, what Baba said. Certain stuff, Baba probably would have put out another version of the upgrade of the Holy Tablets, and he would have added all the stuff that we told you about how the stuff connect. And he added a lot of it, but it's just people don't really see it. Like how Melchizedek become Amen, and how we said Ptah, because they say that Ptah came out of the primordial waters, right? They said that Ptah, they couldn't find out where did he come from because they couldn't trace him with the humans. Why? Because he was extraterrestrial. Also, keep in mind the Anunnakis were taking adopting these people from Earth, or Tiamat, right? Or Zakaya, right? Is one of the names, right? They were adopting people from this planet and making avatars, cloning them, making avatars. And Enki and Pentar was the one that's the key scientist in ancient Kemetic history, right? Where he was the one that set up the laboratory in Memphis and began creating all the different types of crafts for the Goa'uld or the Natharus. And if you get that same storyline, hold on, make sure I don't cut off. If you get that same storyline, you'll get that same storyline about Enki and how if Patar was the fashioner and Enki was the fashioner. And keep in mind, in different cultures, Enki name changed. Like in the Aztec culture, they refer to him as Quetzalcoatl, the god of the water, the great serpent god of the water. So Enki known all around as different names. Just in ancient Kemet, he become known as Ptah. We also have a reason to believe, and I know y'all like that word believe, without for showing, I'm almost for showing it with the correlations because of how that Bible said that Enki was Israel, the angel of death, and then the connection with Anubis. And keep in mind, Anubis is just the title. He who is over Anu's abyss. Anu's still right there in the ancient Kemetic thing, through the name Anubis, right? And so Anubis is like the god of the dead or the underdog, right? Enki was always considered the underdog under Enlil. So it's a whole bunch of correlations there that we could tie in to say that at one point Enki was the Anubis. And then we had a reason to believe after that Nergal became the Anubis over the underworld with Aristotle, right? So we just, for my advanced students, just think about that. It says, do you know anything about the Metatron? Metatron is the 11th elder after the order of Melchizedek. Metatron incarnates as several different incarnations. One as Enki's son, one as Hanuel's son. The one incarnation is Enoch's, Adaphah. Metatron designed the he was the first one to design artificial intelligence and the robot consciousness. It's a robot because you got to keep in mind, we already told you what was happening when they created the social media and all these outlets and all these different ways to monitor you. What they're doing is collecting your consciousness. They're collecting your consciousness into a computer system, a supercomputer. They know what you want, what you eat. They know what you drive. They know how you think. They know what you talk about all the time. And everything is being recorded and stored into a computer, AI computer system to create what they call a brain or a hive that's going to control all the robots. They're gonna know what you. It's almost like they're gonna be ahead of you because they know if you don't wake up, because they know everything about you based on what you post. You post, oh, I'm out to eat. We out to eat here. You take pictures of your food. You take pictures of what you wear. You know, all that. So they store it as a computer, as a collective mind. Metatron was the one that first assembled this when he created the beings you call transformers. When you think that's just a movie, but it was robots created a long time ago. We was using robots to fight wars against the reptilians a long time ago. Metatron was the one that created the cube, the Oryx cube, which they tell you about in the movie Transformers, that actually gives birth to certain types of technology and turns it into, gives it an intelligence, right? And it's like a collective hive. And like I say, they doing that here now the computer system is doing that here now. IBM is collecting the consciousness through the social media on everything about us, and storing that and creating a particular type of iodine system to where they're gonna run the planet based on it, of how people think. Yeah, we've been using robots. We've been using robots all the way back to when we was fighting against some beings called the replicators, which is mentioned of in the Stargate movie. They were because we created some of these beings as toys. So have like toys or like things that for the children, the young children to play with, as like artificial robots and with artificial intelligence that can learn and become smart. And we created these beings too. And then, but at one point, we created a being and they tried to take over. This already happened before. The robots tried to take over and start a war in a whole nother galaxy, and we had to fight them. And it's beings right now that's still fighting these beings, right, in a whole nother galaxy. These robot beings. Yeah, you saw Toy Story and all that. You think they just made that up? Toys coming to life and all that. You think they just made that up, man? Chucky and all that, where dolls come to get spirits on them and stuff. You think they just making that up? Nah, man, that's real. They can show it to you on TV. It's realer than real, and they 6 levels deeper than whatever they show you. Like Baba said, when they show you a robot or something, anything that's technology wise on TV, they already 6 levels deeper than that. They already 40 years ahead of you in the game on whatever they showing you. And said they came from Atlantis. It depends on what perspective they're given. Yeah, Enlil don't like Murdoch. Enlil don't like Murdoch. Enlil hate Murdoch's guts. That's what it's about. What's the verdict? But like I say, at the end, we all family. That's what I told Anu. That's my perspective. Because Anu told me to come back and give him the verdict. I said we all family. He said, hey, I thought you would say that. Right? So that in the end, yeah. But I'm saying Enlil hates Murdoch's guts. Inanna hates Murdoch's guts. And then Ertu, he just doing whatever Enlil tell him to do. And so he feel like he hate Murdoch because Murdoch going against Enlil. That's the only reason he hate him. If Enlil said he was cool, then Ertu would say that he was cool. Because they was hanging out cool the whole time on Nubu when they was going to school. Because they was like the 3rd generation. Okay, so then Ertu and Murdoch is the 3rd generation coming down from Anu. So you got Anu, then you got Enki, then you got Murdoch, which is Enki's son. So Murdoch, Melchizedek, is Anu's the Most High God's grandson. Then you got, for y'all Bible guys, what you got? Because they might say angels don't have sex. And we'll say, yes, they do. Open your Bible up to Genesis chapter 6. Right? We're gonna just leave it right. We're gonna leave them right there. We're gonna leave them right there. So let's keep going. Right? We ain't got time to go back. We got to leave it right there. Right? So then Ertu is Enlil's son, and Mother Ninti. Mother Ninti's first son, her baby, even though it ain't her youngest child, still called Ertu her baby. It's like because her firstborn son by Enlil. And so they both went, Murdoch and then Ertu went to school on Nubaru. And they come up in the same class together. Right? And then you got so they grew up together and they cousins. And so they played together and everything. Murdoch and Ninurtu. So they didn't have no beef until Enlil turned Ninurtu against them, right? And then but our Nana is of our Nana is of the fourth generation because Ninurtu had another Enlil had another two sons or another son named Nanar Sin. And Nanar Sin would be Ninurtu's little brother, younger brother, right? And he had a daughter named Inanna. So Inanna would be fourth generation Anunnaki. You see? Yeah, I got a book called Inky's Children too, over here somewhere. So I'll show you that book. Got the Inky's Children in the Inanna Return book. But they're from the same generation, Ninurtu and Murdoch. But the reason why Enlil don't like Murdoch is because Murdoch always said that I don't need Enlil. I can just go do my own thing based on the guidelines. I'm gonna keep the guidelines. But Murdoch always found a way to stay within the guidelines, but just over some kind of way take over. He found a way based on his intelligence. He was very intelligent. He found a way to take over based on how he was doing. And he was like, y'all can stay over there and I'll stay over here and do my thing. And just leave me alone. But they always wanted to see what Murdoch was doing because they didn't want Murdoch them to get ahead of them. Enlil didn't want Murdoch to get ahead of him. I'm telling you. So he was always trying to see what he was up to and trying to stop him subliminally and undercut under the table type of shit. Enlil, man. So when I hear people come out to say Inky was the bad guy and Enlil was the good guy and this and that, these people don't really know what they're talking about. They behind. Because they say Inky the bad guy. No, Inky was the nice one. Inky was the one that had compassion in his heart to save Noah. Even after Enlil was trying to destroy the humans, not because they was doing bad, all bad, like they tell you. Now he tried to destroy the humans because he was trying to cover up the evidence of them breaking galactical law by stepping in and upgrading humans. They weren't supposed to do that, and Anu knew it, but Anu just let it go. And Anu said, "We're gonna just fix it." Say, what about Nergal? Nergal is Inky's son. So you got the four brothers you're dealing with too. Keep in mind the four brothers. Murdoch, the older brother, Melchizedek, the Ancient of Days, the one that has no beginning nor end, right? Then the next brother is Nergal. And the third brother name is Ningazita, who becomes the Tahuti that puts the emerald tablets together. Bible Ningazita used Baba as an avatar too to talk to him. That's when he wrote the tablets of Tahuti, the secret wisdom of Tahuti. That's when he wrote them tablets because Ningazita was speaking through him. Because Baba said that different beings use him to talk to us at different times. And one of them beings was the third son of Enki, the younger brother, one of the younger brothers named Ningazita. Ningazita, who is Tahuti. And then the other brother, the baby brother, and he wasn't he wasn't the youngest son of Enki, but he was the baby brothers of the Anunnakis, and that was Osiris, Osir, or Damuzi. Those are the four brothers. Murdoch, Nergal, Ningazita, and Damuzi. Right? Enki, Enlil's sons, Nanar, Ninurtu. Who else? He had a couple more sons. That was the main two that we dealt with though. Nanar, Ninurtu. Right? And let me think. Because Enlil, he had another son named Baal, Adad. Baal, Adad, them three right there. Baal is the one they start to worship, right? Because Baal set up his own priesthood when he made a deal with a Layla called the Baphomet. Yeah, and Anarchy's I think it's supposed to have two ends. How we got it spelled in the title is how it's supposed to be spelled. It means those who came to keep, those who are new sent to keep. Like Nana means Anu's beloved, because Anu love Nana. That's his granddaughter, great granddaughter, and she always dance, smell good, and try to seduce Anu into doing whatever she wanted him to do, and she did. I'm telling you. So we're mama. You talking about Big Mama, right? Are you talking about Big Mama? Talking about Nana? Yeah, Inky's a good. Was a good one, really. Enlil was the one that was a jealous god, and they was doing stuff, and so they had to twist it around. And he supposed to be considered as a benevolent. So like the benevolence are the ones that are having a hard time here. Because keep in mind, and on another perspective, you in boot camp, and you're gonna get like the drill sergeant's gonna ride you and make you get up and do push-ups and jump over this obstacle. You in guard training. See, the whole plan was to keep mixing the people. The last mix is in America. As the American black man, Negro, Moor, Native, whatever you want to call yourself. The final mix. That's why they call America the melting pot. The melting pot. What they melted? DNAs. Making a strong DNA. People who were immune to a lot of stuff. And you wonder why when they put all the athletic teams together for the Olympics, that American people was winning until the people from the children of in America start going to other countries and playing with them in the games. We was dominating for the minute because we the supreme beings. The American Negro is the supreme being. Elijah Muhammad tried to tell niggas. Elijah Muhammad was trying to tell us, man, trying to tell you that American Negroes are the supreme beings. We're the cream of the crop. Hitler was influenced by Ashtar Command to get his gang together, his Aryan superior race together. And then he took them, he worked them out, and like Hebrew slaves. Then he took them, and that's funny about that neither. Then he took them over to the Olympics, and some country boy named Jesse Owens from Ohio, I think it was, came and dusted Hitler's best guys off like it was a walk in the park. And he said, and Hitler came to the conclusion that, hey, man, in America, they got the most supreme people there is. Hitler knew what he was talking about. Hitler was advanced, but for Hitler he wasn't that dumb. He wasn't slow. If he tried to take over the world, he had to have some kind of sense or some kind of intelligence. So he had to be intelligent when he said that the supreme Negroes or the supreme people on the planet is the American Negroes. Right? Why? Because we are the end result of all the genetics being sliced together. You got a far Ethiopian, you native, you all this more, you got all that mixed in with you in your bloodline. The Hoshin, all these different species crossbred into make this superior bloodline. So we are the supreme beings in America, the supreme beings, the American Negroes, and so-called white folks. They got the old blood type. That's what you're looking for, the old blood type, the old positives and old negatives. Those beings are supreme beings, white or black. especially if they black. And like I say, my morals don't like the word black. So, oh, why is he still using the word black? Hey, black ass, black crack, black this, black that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we understand. We're talking spiritual science here, man. Think about it. The universe is black, my nigga. The universe is black. And you can't say, oh no, that the universe ain't black. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. The universe is black, my nigga. The universe is made up of 1% light and 99% triple darkness. So 1% of light only makes up the universe. The rest of it is 99% triple darkness. So you tell me which one is what God is in. Is God in the light or is God in the darkness? Or is it both? We say both. Yeah, our Ash Star Command is for galactic criminals, man. And like I say, Walter Plecker is Ash Star Command, the nigga that was trying to influence Marcus Garvey to get us to go back to Africa. Yeah, that's right. Stop playing. That's right. Stop playing. We pointed it out already for him. We pointed it out. Armin and Murdoch, Ra, Atun, Amun, Melchizedek, the angel Michael, the angel of peace, the king of Salem, is all the same person. It's all the same person. We pointed it out already. Says, but you said Enlil always agree. Nah, I ain't say that. I ain't never said that. Enlil, you mean Inky? I said Inky always agree with Murdoch. I might have accidentally said Enlil in the tape, but I really like. If I did say that, I meant to say Inky. Inky is Murdoch's father, and he got a soft spot for Murdoch. I think I said I might have said Inky. So it's Inky that got the soft spot for his son Murdoch, and he do whatever Murdoch say. Enlil gonna do the opposite of what Inky or Murdoch do. He gonna do the opposite. He don't like Murdoch. He think Murdoch is a cocky dude, or he too. If Murdoch get to shine anywhere on the field, anywhere in the thing, Enlil think that he taking his spot. So Enlil see Murdoch. So say if, just for a small example, say if Murdoch was building a stack of some cars and building a building, Enlil is this nigga that'll walk up and just criticize him the whole time, and then even go to say you missed the spot and knock it down so he can start over. That's the type of nigga he is, man. I'm telling you. And keep in mind, this is my grandfather we're talking about, Enlil. I'm telling you. When you say like I say, now that's another thing too. Stop playing. It depends on what perspective you're looking from. If you in there too, Enlil wasn't evil. He was being himself, and just he was put in charge of the project, and he felt like whatever he said should go. Right. So when he said what he said and it didn't go, right, and people did the opposite, he would go and try to force them into what he said, force the situation to what he wanted to be. So that's how he was. So it just depends on what perspective, because like I said, and Enlil is considered as a benevolent, but he did all this shit. He was jealous. He a jealous God and all this. You know, so it just really depends on who perspective you're looking at it from. In Murdoch's perspective, the only reason Murdoch didn't completely go against Enlil is because Anu had put Enlil in charge, and Murdoch respect Anu's wishes. So Murdoch really just went on about his business when Enlil got put in charge. He stayed with, like I say, he had to find a way to stay in the guidelines of what Enlil was doing, but doing his own thing, and but it still overpowered. His shine always shined brighter than Enlil. Enlil always just got mad at it. And the thing with Inanna blamed Murdoch for killing for them chopping up and setting up Osiris, Damusi, and that's why she didn't like Murdoch. So they end up a battle took place. It talks about that battle. A battle took place, and the Lost Books of Enki, he breaks the storyline down too about the battle between Murdoch when Inanna and them was coming at them in the pyramids, and Haru took sides with Murdoch, and in the process lost his eye, taking sides with Murdoch. Why did they allow the white race to advance so quickly, and why did they make the nigger race go to service? That slavery thing is, it's loose. It can be, it's not that broad as far as Nubians go. Besides the people, the Nubians enslaving themselves. As far as the white race are servants, and like I say, these Canaanites were servants to their brother. So it's really the black hand you need to be looking at. I heard Farrakhan, shout out Farrakhan. I heard Farrakhan saying the white man this and the white man that. And we've been saying that for a long time, but it looked like to me niggas doing us. Niggas that look like us but ain't us doing us. And the white man taking the credit for it. Yeah, I'm saying that way. White man taking the credit for what niggas doing to us, to themselves. Let me finish that question that brother asked. It was why they allow the white race. Okay, keep in mind the white race is not the white race. The word white is an adjective, it's not a nationality. That's another key point you gotta keep in mind. All right. Free white man is the term they use, and these people are niggas that look like us, but they said they ain't us. All right, Rod already pointed that point out. And it says, okay, all right, then you got to go back to add into another perspective is to add in Ashtar Command, trying to advance the superior white race, like going all the way back to Yaku, then Hitler, then with Walter Plecker trying to hustle Marcus Garvey to send us back to Africa, and went back to Africa when we was already here. And Marcus Garvey found that out, bang, let's get rid of him. Ashtar Command takes them out. It says, but you call the hey baby, you fix me some of that, baby. It says you hold on, it says, but you call them family and get and still. Yeah, like I say, in the end, the verdict is we all found it. But I'm saying we just got the story got to be told in its entirety. The story's got to be told in the entirety for everybody to see what happened, and then we can shake hands. If you read in the end of this Lost Tablets of Enki, Enlil and Enki shake hands and hug each other. And the end of this in the Enki's perspective. So, because it's like this should go back farther, because you got to keep in mind it goes all the way back to Anshar and his brother battling each other. Then from that, Anu and Alelu battling each other. And then eventually they shook hands. And his daughter, Alelu's daughter, married Enki, the first son of Anu. And keep in mind that birthed Murdoch. Damkina was Alelu's daughter. So Murdoch was the first supposed to end the battle between make a treaty. Murdoch was like a treaty between Anu and Alelu. It was like he part of that treaty between Anu and Alelu. And then so that's the first wave. And then the next wave come down to the family split where Tammuz was supposed to come back and bring the family back together. Why? Because Tammuz is the son of Inanna, who is Enlil's granddaughter. Inanna is Enlil's granddaughter, so they'll make Tammuz Enlil's great grandson. And then his dad is Damuzi, who is Enki's baby boy out of the four, and that would make him Enki's grandson. So they bring because the battle went down to now Enki and Enlil fighting against each other, right? So it's like, you know, it went from Manu and Elalu and Shaw, his brother. Now Enki and Enlil is just going down to Osiris and Osiris and Satut. The battle of the brothers. It plays on like a spiral on down into history. This is yes, chapters. Yeah, if you want to read the Holy Tablets, like I said, in the links in the descriptions, the Holy Tablets is in there for free. Shout out, this account doesn't exist anymore. Shout out that brother. Says, what is the? Hey man, I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I ain't never really read no Patriarchs or none of it. Right? I ain't gonna even lie to you. Only book that I really read is the Holy Tablets. Now some people say, man, Young, you saying a lot of stuff that's in the Patriarchs that just let you know that hey, Young is on point, man. Young on point. I swear on my mama, I ain't never read no Patriarchs. Never. Not saying that I wouldn't read the Patriarchs. I really want some Patriarchs so I can see what the Patriarchs saying and see that it line up to what I've already put out before I heard of the Patriarchs. So American English says and then I said Young did York mention anything about Barry White being. And like I said, the master teacher is our master teacher. We didn't stay stuck on what the master teacher told us. We grew since then. That's 2000, like since 2002. That's like 20-some years. We grew a lot since then, like a plant. We still have been studying all these books. You see, we studied all these books, and so based when your third eye is open, we make connections. And we'll just leave it at that. We make connections when the third eye is open. Everything I say ain't what Malachi said. We based what we say off what Malachi said. But everything I say ain't what Malachi said. It's stuff that a lot of the stuff I come up with it just based off my own studies. And if you want to say, okay, it's wrong, then prove it wrong. You know, do your tape on it or something. I don't know. That's how we say it. We students of Malachi, and we like a plant, we like a seed, one of the seeds that Malachi planted, that now we grew into this tree, and we just talking, and we just, we just putting the information out. So that's how we come up with a lot of stuff. So some of the people that's coming on, they may say, oh, well, master teacher never said that in the Holy Tablets, or he never said that in this, because like I say, we trying to say everything the master teacher said, which is really going to be hard, plus the stuff that we learned since the time the master teacher been locked up and his writings has been, tampered or, messed with or whatever. So since then, we've been studying on, we just based on, Bible said, check this out. We go check it out. Because Bob used to tell us, don't believe me, go check it out. So I went check some shit out. I went check this out, and all the stuff that they saying lined up with what Bible's saying. So I went checked it out and found out, because Bible used to say that because he didn't want us just to hear what he said and regurgitate it. He wanted us to know it ourselves. He wanted us to know what he was teaching ourselves so we could teach it, just like he teach it. And it's gonna be kind of hard, because he was Melchizedek. And he's been around since the beginning. So it's going to be hard to keep up with that. But I'm just saying he wanted us to go check it out so that we can teach it, so we can know it and teach it as we know it, instead of just regurgitating back what he said. So that's why a lot of things you say, hey, Bible never said that. But if you if you ask me the question and I put it together for you on how go watch my Barry White tape on how Barry White died. His death is a mysterious. They said they burned him and then put him in his ashes in the ocean. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of mysterious stuff around his death, and how he had that deep voice, just like Anu. These are things that I'm talking about, how we make the connections. Keep in mind, we high level, etherical, spiritual beings, and our third eye is open. So we tapped in. So stuff you might hear that might sound like it's a joke, it's not really a joke. Like what we're doing is not a joke. How we might be funny, because Baba even had a sense of humor. Baba would have you rolling out on the ground. Baba would have you rolling on the ground, have your back of your head hurt when you leave the meet. Up in there. Tell him. Ask some of them old heads that was there. Baba had the back of your head hurt. When like from laughing and shit. Giggling. He spoke several different languages, translated a lot of stuff for us. Yeah, so, but like you said, the verdict is we all family, and so that's what's going on, man. We got any more questions in the chat? Nah, they wondered they was uncivilized. They had telepathic. They was telepathic and everything. Enlil got mad because of the psychic chatter. The Anunnakis was running to the woods with the Lulu Amalus and mating and having babies, and then they would have Nana started them to have baby showers. When you have a baby shower for your baby, Nana was the first one that's do that. Nana started having these baby showers. They was having all these parties in the woods, and Enlil couldn't sleep, so he complained and said that he got to do something about these humans. And the first thing he started doing is dusting their crops and GMO in their foods, and causing weather, using the Hawk Weather Project to drought their water supplies. And then when he would do that, Inky would step in and do something to reroute the water supplies, or do something to give them a stronger genetics with the food. Then Enlil saw that then they weren't getting wiped out, population control. They weren't getting wiped out fast enough. So we got to come up with something else. Let's come up with birth control. Let's come up with condoms and all this. Enlil said to stop them from having more of these Lulus. And he did several things. He said, "Oh, let's come out with a plague, a virus to wipe them out." And so Enlil just started doing it. Let's read the Bible. It tell you in the Bible the plague came out and all they tell you in the Bible, the whole storyline. And then when Enlil would come out with the plague, Inky would come and do something to the counter, create a vaccine or something for it, right? And then when that didn't work, he said it all fails. The pole shift was the wipe them out. So Enlil found out about that. And he said, "I'm gonna wait till the last minute to tell everybody that this pole shift is gonna happen." Does Enlil have good and bad offspring? I think Ninurtu was a good being. He just was so tied up in his father business. Yeah, Enlil had good sons. He had good sons. But Nanar was bad. Bel was bad. I can't really necessarily say Bel was bad, but Bel got punished for what he did. Like I say, really, it just deal with perspectives. Whose side you on? Like what perspective you? If you were on Enlil's side, you saying Enlil was a good guy, and Enlil was right by doing what he doing. No, not Pinky in the brain. You can say that because Enlil would be the Pinky, and Inky was the brains. If you had to go with it. But the thing is, Inky didn't want to take over the world. Enlil wanted to take over the world. He wanted to control everything. Inky didn't care. He just was having fun, building boats and canals and rerouting waterways, and just he was a guy that liked to just create and keep going. He got that from Anu. He was just a guy that just liked to create and make things better. And he was the one that chose to save Noah. Inky was the one that had the good heart to save Noah. He didn't go against Anu by doing that. Now he might have did because Enlil was put in charge, and Enlil wanted everybody wiped out so he could cover up the evidence when it's time to go to galactical court. But he can count on one witness surviving, because all we need is one witness, and that witness is Udna Fishtoon Noah. Come back to snitch on him. There's a reason for everything. Man, we about to get up out of here because it's getting late, and the kids got to go to school, so we want to get them tucked in, and I want to get out of these clothes, get them my sleeping clothes. But it says Enlil saved. Nah, Enlil didn't save Noah. Enlil wanted Noah to go down. He was mad when he found out Noah was still alive. You got to read the Holy Tablets and read the Lost Books of Inky. He was mad when he found out Noah survived. Keep in mind, Noah was Inky's son. Utna Fishtoon was Inky's son. Yeah, we can run these back to back. The Illuminati is whose clan? Okay, the Illuminati, you got two different groups. You got the green light Illuminati, which is the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, the enlightened ones, the high priest of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, the green light Illuminati. Then you got the amber light Illuminati, right, who are fighting on behalf of Halar. Now keep in mind, this is a separate, the Inky and Enlil story is an inside matter. It's a family matter. We're talking family matters here. Halar now, he was adopted. So he really family matters too, but that's really a separate situation between Tanush and Halar now. And you can say, okay, well, Mother Hubert is connected with that, and Mother Hubert is Anu's sister, the chief scientist to his father, who was Anshaw. You see? So the Inky Enlil situation is a family matter. The Nertu Murdoch situation is a family matter, which has already been resolved, really. We already passed that. That's how we got to the ascended point. Because when I told y'all, when we get through Warming and the Anunnaki stuff and the Nataru stuff, we're going to get back to the ascended stuff, which is where Murdoch becomes Yanun, and where Adalpha becomes Metatun, ascended beings. We are ascended beings. That's the end thing that we to because one being, they taught you information. Baba taught you our formation. Mark Brady taught you me formation, and we here to teach you transformation. This is the last phase, the ascension manual, the ascension process of going back to the seventh dimension again. This is where we hit it. And we already taught all the classes already. We just got to go back, get the stragglers on some of the information, and then we'll jump back into the ascension, the rest of the ascension manual classes. Stay tuned. So we out of here, man. Yeah, so yeah, that's right, Israel. I'm glad you pointed that out, Israel. Enlil did secretly save his own little group of people from cannon seed, because he told Ninurtu to go find. He told Ninurtu to go find some people, and I don't know. I don't know if Ninurtu did it under Enlil's command or he did it under his own thing. But he was coming back and forth to America, and these people over in America got the same storyline of that this God came down to them in the craft and gave them a book and told them how to build some type of canoe, and that they survived the flood on this side of the field. And I want to say Nana talk about it. Nana Turn and the Lost Book of Enki. He talked about it, about how Enlil had it. Not only did Enki then follow the rules, Enlil then followed his own rules and saved some people too on this side. Yeah. So I'm glad you pointed that out, Israel. Other than that, man, we had an hour. We're gonna get out. We'll be back tomorrow. We're rolling them back to back, man. We back in business. We got some more interesting topics coming out. We ain't gonna be doing talking. We were talking a lot on extraterrestrial shit, but we, like I say, we ain't gonna just keep the Anunnaki classes. We got a lot of that information out already. We're gonna go into more other extraterrestrials, and we'll still answer Anunnaki questions and things. And we got probably like about maybe like 7 more chronicles. We're gonna make it like 19 chronicles. On the Anunnakis, we'll continue the storyline up into the Natharus, and then we still got to put the 56 dynasties tape out, where we break down all the way down to the last pharaoh from the first pharaoh, Osiris, right? And we'll break that down for you, and show you the Inky side starts the Natharus. So peace, family. Islam, Hotep, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom alaikum. Wadu, or should.
Never have it been made so clear.